This is a follow-up video on my last video on the concept of network effect. In that video, I've discussed how important and critical network effect can be in valuing a particular cryptocurrencies. How can we identify an undervalued cryptocurrency and expect the price to rise consequently if we do our analysis properly? If you already haven't, please check out that video. The link is on the top. In this video, I will discuss about the first example, the example of a prominent cryptocurrency, one of the large caps of the market. This cryptocurrency is way too undervalued according to me. I am going to show you with examples live how do I value its network effect, how it has a network effect which is consequently growing. It is continuously being used by more and more users, and going forward it will be used further. The cryptocurrency's technology is improving day in, day out. Its network is increasing day in, day out, but its value is decreasing. I personally think this is a massive opportunity wherein we can make a lot of money. So guys, let's find out which prominent cryptocurrency am I talking about. If you already haven't, I will request you to please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you find it relevant. Now, before I reveal my pick, let's have a small brief discussion about certain prominent YouTubers, market makers, and analysts. So let's talk about this gentleman from Modern Investor. He recommends buying OMG, which is Omisgo. Let's talk about Mr. Tika Tiwari, the Big T. He's the prominent author and fund manager for Palm Beach Confidential, one of the best publications on cryptocurrencies. Now, he recommends Aeon. Let's talk about a popular host or a YouTuber called Superman. Now, this gentleman recommends buying Ethos. Let's talk about Ian Balina. Now, he has made a lot of money on ICOs and he's considered to be the expert in ICOs. His favorite pick is Zilliqa. If we talk about the gentleman from Box Mining, one of the most hardworking YouTubers that I've seen, he vouches for VeChain. Even me as a YouTuber and an influencer basically like a token called BNB or Binance token, which I have reflected in my previous videos. Now, who do I like and who do I respect and whom do I choose amongst these is not a part of discussion in this video. I have my choosing, which I will discuss probably in another video, but I'm trying to make a point out here. Now guys, what is one thing which is common between all these picks? We are discussing about different cryptocurrencies. They have different analysis, different thoughts that they think their particular cryptocurrencies will rise. But if you look at all these cryptocurrencies closely, you would try and understand and you will see that these are all basically ERC20 tokens. They're all based out of Ethereum blockchain. So guys, my pick, which basically indicates a massive network effect, is Ethereum. I know there will be a lot of people who will be disappointed with this pick. They will think that we already know it's one of the big baggers, it's already in the second rank. But understand one thing, guys, the chances of Ethereum going 4x, 5x this year itself, and in a time frame of 2 to 3 years going 10x or maybe even 15-20x is more than the chances of a small time ICO or a fairy tale, as I call them, the fairy tale coin or a fairy tale white paper coin becoming 50x. I would bet my money on Ethereum because I've got my fundamental analysis in place and I have my reasons for it, which I'll be discussing in this video. So guys, the key concept or the main takeaway of the last video or the concept of network effect is basically more the number of users, more the usability of a coin or a cryptocurrencies, more will be its value. If we see that the users are consequently increasing, its use case is increasing day in, day out, then the value will follow soon. If ever we see the users increasing and the value coming down, always try and buy such a coin. Now this is exactly what I'll show you in example today. We need to buy Ethereum because we see the use case of this coin is increasing day in, day out. I'm going to show you 3 examples for it. At the same time, I see that the value has deteriorated almost 60% from its all-time high. From the time that it was at around 1400, 1500 level to today, where the value is close to 500, 550 level, the development and the users have increased manifold, but the value has come down to almost 60% from its all-time high. And that is the reason I say that it basically indicates a massive opportunity wherein we can make a lot of money. And I personally see the value of Ethereum going high, way above its all-time high as well. So the first way to see how Ethereum's use case is increasing day in, day out is through the standard app, which is the coin market app. I'll show you the coin market cap and I'll just show you the tokens, right? So always, guys, always keep a look. If you are in cryptocurrency space for a long term and you want to basically make money, always keep a look at few things, which is how many cryptocurrencies are there. So around 1.5 years back when I started out, there were close to 600, 650 cryptocurrencies, right? In just a span of 1.5 years, it has more than doubled, okay? And I'll show you, always keep a look at the platform that is being used mostly. Now, BitShares, you see there's a lot of people who are using BitShares. That gives you an opportunity to identify and at least check what kind of apps are being developed on BitShare, right? Burst, I see two. There was only one app earlier, which was CC Miner. Now I see two apps. So now you can see what kind of volumes. This is how you basically analyze stuff. Now we come to Ethereum, guys. Now, on an average, what I've noticed is every month around 20 to 30, based on my analysis as well, the figures which I gave you just 2 minutes back, around 20 to 30 good cryptocurrencies. There are a lot of cryptocurrencies which are subtracted as well. They are either frauds or they fail. But on an average, the net effect is around 20 to 30 cryptocurrencies are being added every month, right? At times, it's even 50 cryptocurrencies at the end of the year. 70 to 80% of them are added on the blockchain of Ethereum. Okay, so basically almost 20 to 22 cryptocurrencies are being added on the Ethereum blockchain every month. So just have a look at the things that I was talking about: VeChain, Icon, Binance Coin, which I personally like, Omis Go, with the gentleman of Modern Investor, whom I respect a lot. He basically says R Chain, Bytem, Zilliqa, the pick of Mr. Ian Balina, Aeon, the key pick for Palm Beach Confidential, PBC, KuCoin Shares, Golem, all these things, Nebulous. These are fantastic cryptocurrencies. Understand one thing, guys. As the users of these cryptocurrencies increase, invariably the users of Ethereum blockchain and Ether as a token of exchange will increase. You need to understand what is Ethereum. Ethereum is basically, in simpler terms, a service provider which provides the computational space, the ecosystem, and the developer space for developers. These are basically the development companies or the dApps, decentralized applications. There can be games, there can be markets which are being developed on the Ethereum blockchain. All of them for interfacing with each other, for development, for supporting their increasing customers, will require to buy or hold Ether if they want to continue any kind of development in that particular blockchain space. To give you a Winklevoss twins example, they basically consider Ether to be a race course. No matter which horse wins, it could be Binance tokens, it could be KuCoin shares, it could be Ethos, it could be Nebulous, any coins, any horse that wins, the money is going to be made by the race course. People will come, will flock to see those horses and buy tickets for those race course. That is the reason the use case, the users of Ethereum blockchain and Ether token are on the rise and will continue to rise. More successful these companies will become, more use cases or new development will happen on the Ethereum blockchain by these companies. So this is just one example where I say the use case of Ethereum is on the rise. Just go through the chain, guys. All your best tokens, Substratum, Salt, ELF, Kin, Nucleus Vision, which is a recent launch, 10x, all these tokens, Syndicator, Storage, all these tokens are basically going to use Ethereum blockchain and they'll continue to do so. Even if some people plan to move to some other blockchains, it'll be very, very difficult for them. It's not going to be easy. To give you another example, I have given you the link of dApp Radar below. You can go to this site. This site basically shows you top apps on the Ethereum blockchain and what kind of apps are there. Are they games? Are they basically marketplaces or some other kind of apps? So guys, if you see this, I have a tendency to check it out every week. Now just last month, around 4 weeks back, there were only 2 pages. So basically I see close to 50 to 60 apps have been added in last 1 month, which is 2 apps per day, right guys? If I just check out the new apps, which basically shows the last apps which have been developed in last or added out here in the last 3 days, you see 9 apps. So the use case is increasing day in day out. There are almost 10,000 people who are using these apps, right? This number again is increasing. There's almost, if I look at the daily transaction value, it's around 11,000 ether. It's close to 50,000 transactions which is happening day in day out. This is a totally different class of people, guys. The first class which I showed you were the developers, right? This class is the users, the consumers, the apps like CryptoKitties, Ethercraft, Ethermon, Etherbots. These are huge games. They're getting popular day in day out. The daily active users of CryptoKitties are around 1,000 people. Daily active users every day on an average is 1,000 people. CryptoKitties have recently got funding on the Series A funding of $12 million. Imagine this, guys. If they are successful, people will try to emulate them. More apps will be developed. The developers will require Ether to create apps out of the Ethereum blockchain. The people who use these apps and play those games will basically again require Ether to go ahead, access and enjoy those games, right? Same thing for other apps as well. These are all decentralized apps. So the use case of or the consumption of Ether is on a rise and will continue to rise. And these are live examples in front of you which you can go and test week in, week out, right? The other example which I'm going to give you is the statement by Mr. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum. And he basically says that he is going to redefine or revolutionize the ICO, the concept of ICO. ICOs, if you don't know, guys, is basically, it stands for initial coin offering. And you can check out my video on ICOs as well. It's linked on the top. What Mr. Buterin now is trying to do is basically going to redefine ICOs into interactive coin offering. Okay. Now, they are basically, the success of Ethereum is linked to ICO up to a certain extent. Now with interactive coin offering, they're going a step ahead. When the other blockchain are basically trying to catch up to its basic concept, the interactive coin offering will revolutionize how the money is deployed into blockchains or new coins or new cryptocurrencies or new decentralized app. Feel free to check out my video on interactive coin offering. It's in a very critical and upcoming technology that can change the way the money is deployed, because there's a lot of fraudulent activity which is going on ICOs as well. The interactive coin offering is designed to basically close or shun that problem and solve it. Another key development that is about to happen is the Casper Protocol. Casper Protocol is already been tested in the test net for last 2.5 months, and it's only about time that it basically goes live on the mainnet. Now, Casper Protocol is basically going to take Ethereum away from proof of work to proof of stake. So as we go towards the proof of stake, you will be able to stake your own Ethereum and basically get some kind of interest as a mining reward for the staked Ethereum. Now, basically, to become a staker or a miner for the proof of stake on the testnet, you're required to have around 1,500 Ethereums. I'm sure this figure is going to be much lesser, something around 800 to 1,000 Ethereums when it goes live on the mainnet. And there will be a lot of mining pools who will basically stake these Ethereums and keep it to become one of the miners. So even a common person like you and me can invest in these mining pools and stake their Ethereums for some kind of rewards, right guys? So imagine this, once it becomes a proof of stake, apart from the usability part of it, how it's being used in the example which I gave you earlier, it's also going to be an important part for staking. And people are trying to, at least the mining pools will try and hoard these Ethereum to become one of the miners and stake those Ethereums. They will be kept dormant, wherein you will continue to get rewards, the mining rewards, and in a way interest on the Ethereum that you stake. So these, again, this gives you another example how the use of Ethereum is going to increase, how Ethereum is going to become more valuable and more in demand. So just to take, what are the takeaways for this particular video? Ethereum use is on the rise. There are more developers developing more apps on the Ethereum blockchain. The already existing apps, a lot of successful apps and apps which are basically forecasted to succeed, will require support or new development in the Ethereum blockchain and thereby requiring Ether. People have started to use apps, these dApps or the decentralized apps, and the games which are based out of the Ethereum blockchain. They again require Ethereum to use to play these games, to enjoy these games, or enjoy some kind of services out of them. The Casper protocol is going to make Ethereum a proof of stake coin, a proof of stake cryptocurrencies, and staking would also increase the demand of Ethereum. All these indicators basically indicate to one thing, that the use case or the demand of Ethereum is about to rise. It's going to increase, it's going to explode. And that is the reason I pinpoint to the fact that the value of Ethereum is way undervalued at this point and it should increase in near future. Next video, again as a follow-up to this video, I will discuss about a small cap cryptocurrency, a coin which is not a part of the top 100 cryptocurrencies and is indicating massive use case and massive involvement of public. I clearly see a major network effect built up out there, and the price of the cryptocurrency has been, just like Ethereum, falling for quite some time. I personally think it is way too undervalued, and the increase from the current price can be massive. So do stay tuned and check out my next video in this series, which I'm going to release after 2 days. If you already haven't, guys, I request you to please subscribe to my channel, stay tuned to my latest videos, click the bell icon, and hit those likes if you think that this video added any kind of value or was beneficial to you. Have a great day, guys, wherever you are. Have a great morning, great afternoon, or good evening. Enjoy your day. I'll see you guys later.